Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hasan Zeki Alp. I've been presenting your modern programming languages in my YouTube channel. My name is Aka Harbinger, the Harbinger. As Harbinger today, this morning, I will give a surprise for a new programming language to present you. I'm talking about Lua Programming Language. Just a few days ago, I have already completed the course tutorial program, and I say that's the time to start up for Lua, and I'd like to introduce you Lua in my sharing screen. That's the symbol of Lua, and this is another symbol. Just we can guess that it's a functional programming language. I can say a few things about Lua. Lua is a functional programming language. It's open source, installed at the top of C programming language. At the very beginning, it's considered as a complementary for C language. However, since its size that's available, that's suitable from large-scale server systems down to small mobile systems, it is considered as a trending growing programming language, in fact. And in 1993 it's developed by three persons: Roberto Ierosalemski, Luis Henry de Figueiredo, and Waldemar Teles. Sorry for my pronunciation. Some of them seems Polish, some of them seems French, I think. Anyway, Lua is a programming language, a functional programming language, and it has a very fine structure. And right away, I will start up Lua lessons. I would like to say one thing. For presenting these video lessons, I use JetBrains IntelliJ IDEA community version. It's free, and actually you are free to subscribe to my channel, and you are free to go on with these courses. I hope you will find it fancy and useful, and very easy from the very startup of conventional hello program and up to more sophisticated codes. And right away, without wasting any time, I'd like to start up this course program, the course schedule. Okay, just a few more words about this environment. Just I have to close this one. As you are familiar with this screen, this is IntelliJ IDEA JetBrains community version, and as I have already prepared this schedule, these files, I simply click on here instead of creating a new project. However, you can prefer to do a new project. Just one more thing before starting up this program, Lua Programming teaching program. I have already plugged in Lua. I have added a Lua plugin, and also I have installed a Lua compiler to my computer. Just I can show you here Lua, and in fact it has some bits and pieces here. However, this is just a hang, this is just hooked to my JetBrains this community version. So this is the, some necessary information in order to start up a good follow-up for my lessons, I think. And right away I would like to introduce you the very first conventional hello program. Okay, this is my Lua file 000, and just as you can see, it is very simple and very easy. Just print command with brackets and quotations, and no other semicolons, etc. And when I run this code, it simply displays hello world on the screen. And right away I'd like to show you one more example. And in this example I introduce your io.write command. This is the method, and within this method, within these parentheses, I say hello world from, and by mentioning this underscore version, just I'd like to retrieve the version information, in fact, and with exclamation mark, and this is the backslash for back for feed line, for go the next line. And right away I'd like to run it by right click, by clicking right. Okay, hello world from Lua. Just this is the version that I've been using for this program. And right away I'd like to share you with this code. And just here I define two variables such as a and b, 10 and 30, and I simply say print value of a. This is within brackets and a, and just I say once again print value of b and b, and before that I have to mention here, I have to indicate that a and b will be local, so let it be local by saying local keyword. And after that, when I print the values of a and b, just I would like to introduce you this notation. B comma a is going to be assigned as a comma b. Just this resembles your, this must resemble your Python quotation or Ruby quotation. Only one line in only one command you exchange the values of two variables, or other saying swapping of variables. It's an example of swapping variables. And after swapping, just I would like to show you the swapped values by this and by that one. And after that, just I'd like to give another example for division. This is the floating point, and this is another floating point value, and it's assigned to f letters. This is a variable name. And after that, just I'd like to print out the value of f, such as comma f. And when I print this one, when I run this one, okay, this part is before the swapping, in fact, the real values for a and b, just as you can see here. Okay, and this part and this part is the swapped value. Just you can see a becomes b and b becomes a. 30 and 10. And for the next example, the result of this division operation becomes pointed numbers, decimal numbers, not integers. So it gives no error code, and that's what I would like to share with this example. And let me show you another example with Lua extension. Okay, here just I'd like to introduce you the variable types of Lua. They can be string, number, boolean, I mean true or false, and function, nil. That means there is no value, neither there is not a number. and string also. Just by saying this one, what's my type, within brackets, within quotations, and just I query about the type of this thing. In fact, just as you can see, it's a string. It's an hexadecimal string. It contains alphabetic characters, and just we can say that it's string. Okay, just here I define, I assign a value for t, 10, and here make a simple multiplication, 5.8 multiplied by t, and just I query about its type. And I use a logical expression here, true, and I query about type, and I would like to print out the result. And of course, as well, I would like to query about the print function. Just it's a function. In fact, I query about the type of nil. Nil means not a number, nothing, none. In fact. And in this combinational query, just I query about the ABC, the query about type of ABC, and of course it's gonna give a result of string. When I run this one, just we'll get string. What is my type? Of course, your type is a string. Its type a string, and this is also a number. The result will be a number as a result of multiplication, and this is gonna be a Boolean. I mean, true or false. It's gonna give true or false. And function. This is a function. Print is a function, in fact, and nil is a type of nil, and in this combinational example, it's gonna give a string example. How about my next example? I here would like to give an example of four operands, four operations. That's to say, sum, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and division with remaining, and exponential, and negation. And just for these operations, I simply use plus, minus, multiplication or asterisk line, division line or slash, and percent sign for modulo arithmetic or division with remaining. And this is the this symbol stands for exponential, and this is the negation, or to make it a negative number, negative variable. And here I assign 21 for A and 10 for B, and I query about the result of C. And in this line, just I would like to print out the value of C. This is the explanation line first. Value of C is, and in fact this is the sum of A and B. And how about the next one? This is the subtraction of A minus B. And similarly, just I give other examples, and after when I run this example, this code snippet, I get these results. In fact, just by considering the values of A and B, the sum of A and B becomes 31st. And how about this one? 21st minus 10 will give 11, sorry. And this is the multiplication, okay, 210. And this is the division, 2.1. And how about the remaining value? When I divide it by, when I divide 21st by 10, the remaining will be only 1. That stands for 1. And this is the form description for exponential multiplication. In fact, this is the multiplication of 21st. That's gonna give a result of 441st, and this is the negation with a simple minus sign before in front of our variable. And this is an example for operators. And how about our next lesson? Next file. Just I'd like to show about that. Yes. This is the repetition of this one. How about this one? Okay, this is the comparison example. This is the if-then example with comparison. I here once again define two variables such as a 21st and b is gonna assign as 10. And in this if block, just you can see here, I make a comparison of if a is identical to b. In fact, if this is true, then this part will be performed, and if this is not true, that's to say the result of this expression will give a negative or zero value. This will be performed. In fact, since a is not equal to, does not equal to b, so this line will be performed. That's to say, line first, a is not equal to b will be displayed, will be printed out. And this is another comparison. This tilde signs stands for negation. In fact, as you guess, as you remember, an exclamation mark would stand for the negation of b or does not equal to expression. If a does not equal to b, then do this. Otherwise, you will do that. Of course, in this case, the first branching is met, so this part will be printed on the screen. And I just give another example for comparison, relational comparison. Within the brackets, within the parentheses, you can see a less than b. It is translated in English just like this: if a less than b, then do this, otherwise, else, or do that. And this is another relational comparison. And if the result of this relation becomes true or becomes affirmative, it's gonna be printed this line. And in this part, just I change the values of the variables of a and b, and in this case just I repeat the comparison, this time by mentioning, by showing an example of less than or equal to relation comparison. A less than or equal to b, that means a can be less than b, or a can be equal to b. And similarly, I give another example for this one. If b greater or equal to b, and do this, and etc. Just when I run this file, okay, just I will get these results. At the very first part of this example, this code snippet, I assign two values such as a and b, and I make a comparison, and the result of b, the next line, this is going to be the next line to be printed, and in this case the first line will be printed. Okay, and how about this one? Still it meets the condition, and this is going to be printed, in fact. And for this one, this is not going to be printed, this one also. And let me change the values of a and b, and similarly I'll get the similar corresponding results as a result of this relational comparisons by using if then command or if then else command, without forgetting any and keyword to place after and block. and just it's gonna take 20 minutes approximately, just without in order to overcome my upload issues. I'd like to stop this course schedule at this point. I hope you liked this Lua programming language, you guys. If you liked, and if you go on with our programming lessons, just it's up to you to subscribe to my channel. It's completely free. It's free to subscribe, and it's free to go on with the other programming languages, the other lessons. It's all free. My motto is if you take free, give it free. That's what I considered always during these lessons. Thanks for your time, and I hope you a very nice day, very sunny day for the remaining part of this day. Thank you for your watching, and thank you for sharing time with me. Bye now.